can't, but like there is like the whole thing man built around like what you say will honestly come back and bite you in the ass. You know, like when you was talking man to like Mark and you said something man about Larry, and then Larry just came out and just fucking said that shit.
You know what's funny though? You getting recorded right now. But anyways, pick the mission.
I mean, like that's sort of how that is, because like I don't really think that like Until Dawn will necessarily have that again, unless like they really say something like, unless they say something like, oh, you gotta like drop a bomb, and by saying that somebody who was sleeping with somebody else, and it's like, oh shit.
Well, I don't know. We don't know exactly. One day, I see somebody complain about it because they said we want to be able to, pick up a weapon and have a fighting option instead of hide here, run there. We need more options. You only use like 2 bullets instead of all 4 of them. I mean, I could agree with that. But when she was running, she was able to pick up. She put square button in the head. You could just ran right past the thing while picking it up. But you can't hit him with something, but they want to continually bash his head in because you did have the element of surprise.
I mean, like I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, I look at it as like this is a game that was made to be a PlayStation Move game. All right, no matter what anyone says, the game is really just the game itself. It was coming out on the mind idea.
Yeah, it really was coming out on a Move for the PS3 at first.
I mean, like no matter what anyone says, the game itself is not honestly supposed to be like the games that we have today, like Walking Dead and Heavy Rain and so forth. Because even though you can use like the Move to play to play like all of those games, it's not wise to do so because really it's like those games, they are not built around those functions. And like even with that, it's like, well now what what they're promising really isn't like as golden as they're pretty much trying to like make it sound because like the only real like thing that it has going for itself is the fact that it looks nice, and a lot of people are really eating that shit up. And I'm like, which really I can understand where that's why like a lot of people's annoyances are actually coming from, because like this game is fine, but I'm like, you can stop it with the whole thing of like this game is gonna be like this and that because man like because look at how it looks. Haven't you seen this? It's like, yes I have. That doesn't mean that like it's going to be a good game because of all these things. You made back up.
Yeah, I seen that shit at the last moment.
I seen their bodies moving. I was like, oh my god. But I'm like, I can understand though, is that like I want the options to fight back. I want the options to like run and hide and actually fight them and do all the rest of this stuff. I understand that. But like as for like a game like that only has like one one enemy, I'm sitting here and I'm having like Prince of Persia like warrior within flashbacks of being like yeah, I want to fight the Dahaka. Like how are you going to fight that thing, man, when like you get like when like a certain the range of it and he just like instantly kills you? Like that's a bit impossible. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
And I'm like, if it was like, unless like the entire game is built around like the chase, because if that's the case, and I'm like, oh okay, an 8-hour game that is built around the chase and trying to keep all of your friends alive, then that's a bit different than just saying like, well now like we have like all this like scary stuff and all that, which really is like, if there is one thing from like the modern day like horror movies that I don't want this game to have, is the annoyances of actual like normal day like horror movies when they have to rely on jump scares and shit.
They don't try to do that when that TV came on with it.
I'm like, will you stop it with the jump scares? Because that shit is really annoying.
It reminds me of The Woman in Black.
I mean, like, I like that movie, but I'm like, God damn it, they really gotta stop it with all these jump scares.
You and your shotgun though.
With Drake? Oh shit.
You making niggas get shot off their damn feet, man. Not cool.
Why? Sound like Ric Flair. Like, oh my Jesus.
Then they're like, woo! I got shot right off his feet.
Woo! Man. Sound like Ric Flair.
What? I need that shotgun. I gotta get one. Only thing I like about it is all your characters could die like Heavy Rain.
Very true. Except for if everyone dies, one of them still wins. It's like
yeah, the main antagonist will win. For those who ain't played the game, can't disclose who that is.
Dude, how many years has it been since Heavy Rain?
A lot of people have not. But did you just shot? You damn that shotgun you have though.
And the knife, I love it.
Fucking juggernaut. Like 3 or 4 shots just annihilated him. I feel bad for that damn thing. He got raped.
You don't. Like, hooray! The shotgun is amazing. It saves like everyone's lives. But yeah, that game is gonna be something. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a bad game, but it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna get a higher score due to the fact that it's so story driven. It ain't really that much to do. You know, they were talking about The Order being a cinematic movie, and you know, they were pissing off a few people.
The reason why The Order pissed off so many people is because The Order itself has so much anticipation behind it, behind like everything that The Order told you the game was going to be. It was not. It was supposed to be. I mean, like even like when like you first play the game to its story, it's just like the animes we watch. When you watch like the first like hour of it, and then it's like, oh great, the thing is about like all these Order Knights and you're fighting werewolves and you know doing all this crazy stuff, but then like you only fight 2 werewolves in the game. I mean, like that's like false advertising, like everything. I'm like, come on, man, you really can't just be like, well, yeah, man, we made a game about like you being in this order and doing all this stuff, but then it's like as soon as like you play the game, it's like, well, none of that's happening. I'm like chasing dudes, man, like I'm a normal everyday cop. I'm in a brothel like chasing like a normal fucking man. How come I'm not fighting a werewolf? And when you do fight a werewolf, it's like you do like the same like dodge, stab cutscenes, like word for word for both of them. And it's like, that's not something that you can pass off as being like it's a good game. Are you saying that it's a good game just because it has good graphics? This is the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, even man the Wii U, when that shit right there, man, I'm like before that dies out, it's like graphics of nowadays are not, man, the graphics of PlayStation 1 and 2. And even if they do look like PlayStation 2 graphics are still good. And that's not a reason, man, for you to say like, well, yeah, man, it's a good game, man, because it has good graphics. That's not a good argument. It never was, and it never will be. So they really should stop saying that, because like the game is bad. Because to be fair, it's like it's not giving you what a video game should have, or at least for something that's like that is supposed to be next gen. It doesn't have any good gameplay with it, because what is the gameplay is duck and cover shooting behind like covered behind cover and getting killed man by like the same shotgun dudes in heavy armor. Not that big of a deal.
You saw her to Angry Joe. No! Ah! I was dying.
That shit was me back in Wolfenstein: The New Order, and I'm like, I found a way how, man, to get past it because that game's balanced. But I'm like, in terms of like what the Order 1886 is like, I understand that you want that game to be cinematic. Comparing that to all of the other cinematic games that do have stories and that and they do have like all these other things like sprinkled about in it. I'm like, well, you really got to think. It's like, okay, so now what are you bringing to the table that is brand new and some stuff like that? It's like, well, nothing. It's just doing the same thing, and it's like it's not doing the same thing even well. It's doing it like at a very base level. Cause I'm like, to be fair, dude, man, like for the longest time, it's like I had my problems, man, with fucking Tomb Raider and people saying, man, like this game is like the greatest game ever. Like you've played this game, it's fine, all right. It's doing it's taking what man it has and it's doing it well. I understand that. But then you take that same shit and you put it in the Order 1886 and 6, and it's like, well, what does Order 1886 have? Just graphics. What does Tomb Raider bring? It takes the Uncharted formula and turns it into something completely different, making it its own like little game gameplay functions and such. But nobody really is like looking down on that. They're like, but those graphics. Like, that's not a good enough argument.
They far, but those graphics, though. Hell no. Hey, let me end this session right quick of this. I gotta...
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, kind of at 11 minutes. Make sure... Am I about a window? Hey, have my back right quick. You know how that... You gotta hit the damn sheriff button.
That's why I got the shotgun. He's dead.